Hi, Dirty Girl here with another vintage haul from the flea market. So I was thinking, as I went along during the day that I wasn't buying that much stuff, but I have a table full of stuff. I don't know how I did it. I just did it one small package at a time. So anyway, I was not focusing as much on jewelry this time because I have those two big eBay lots and a lot of jewelry from my sister-in-law that I now have not listed yet and I'm working on. So, but I did, of course, if I see jewelry and it's a good price, I can't help it, I buy it. So I'll just show you what I got. I got this spun silver bracelet. Very interesting wide one. I've never seen one quite like this. Just love it. And I paid $10 for that. It's not marked or anything, but I was assured that it was silver. So, and it's also a very, very small size. What is that? It's a very small size, actually fits snugly around my wrist. So if you have bird bones like I do, this might fit you. And this was just something I could not walk away from. It is a sterling silver ball necklace. All the other ones I've had of these came from Mexico. This one is not marked Mexico. It's just marked sterling. I don't see any other marks on it, but it's really nicely made. And it has little matching wire earrings. And that I got for $25. The balls are hollow, so it's not like super heavy, but it's very nice. And this, I'm pretty sure, is jade. And it's got a nice old. It's hand knotted, and it's got a nice old, like an Asian type box clasp with the little. Let's see if it says sterling on it. I think it does. Yeah, it says 95. So anyway, nice little necklace, and that I paid $10 for that. And this bracelet, stretchy bracelet, a guy gave me this for free, and the reason he gave it to me for free is because I had just been in another space where a guy started verbally abusing me for like no reason. It was a very strange encounter. I did really nothing to provoke it, and he was like calling me ignorant and saying he couldn't sell me anything if I didn't know what it was, and that I probably couldn't afford that. I hadn't said anything about what I could or couldn't afford, or that I wanted to pay less or anything like that. It was very odd, and I finally, after about, like the first time I thought maybe he's trying to make a joke, and it's just not coming off. About the third time he said something rude to me, I said, "Excuse me, I don't need this," and I backed away. But when people yell at me or are mean to me, I get really upset, because I just didn't grow up with people being cross with each other, or nobody in my house ever raised their voices, seriously. So I am not used to that, and it gets me really upset. So I walked into this other guy's booth, and he was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I was near tears, and he was like, "Oh my goodness." So I just told him briefly that somebody had yelled at me, and it had upset me, and he was like, "Oh, well, here, take this bracelet." He was like one of these guys, I guess, that likes to fix things. My husband is that way too. If anything is wrong, he tries to fix it for me. So anyway, he gave me this little bracelet, which I think is so pretty, and I wore it. I wore it all day long, even though I don't usually wear bracelets. And every time I looked down at it, I was reminded that, goodness, what is on this? It's like I got lipstick on my sweatshirt. Great. Anyway, I would look down and I would remember that there are very nice people in the world. So, okay, then I got this really pretty herringbone chain. I think you call that a herringbone. It's very flat, and it does look like bones. a very nice sterling silver chain necklace from Italy. I just had one and listed it, and it sold right away the other day. So I thought, well, I'll just get another one, and that was $5. Did I say? And this was the cheap jewelry find of the day. I paid 50 cents for this. That's almost unheard of to find anything at the flea market for 50 cents. It's really kind of hard to find things for $1 these days. I don't know if this is silver. It might be. It might be silver plate. It's got some pretty little green beads, but I thought it's really attractive, and for 50 cents. And since I didn't want these poor people to have to find quarters, I decided I would buy two things from their 50-cent bin. So I bought this shell pendant, which also came in a baggie with some various single earrings. Nothing too great, but I can use them for crafting. And I think this is my last jewelry purchase. It's a copper link bracelet. It's a Native American, probably a trading post piece. And that I paid $4 for. Does it have any marks on it? I don't think it has any marks on it. I don't see anything. Okay, so moving on. Got this cute little antique hand, I guess it goes this way, hand tinted botanical in a little wooden frame. It's just very nicely done, and it looks really old. And it is Astragalus aloperoid. Don't know what that is, but I'll have to look that up. It'll be fun. And this was one of my favorite purchases of the day. Little octagon inlaid wood box for $5. Could hardly beat that. Inside, a very 1950s little quilted lining. The lining definitely could have come later, although it does have, yeah, it has Phillips head screws, so it's not going to be all that old, but how sweet is that? And $5, as the price tag said. This is a copper hand engraved little cup. Looks pretty old. No marks on it. I think I paid $3 for that, just because I love old stuff and couldn't walk away from it. There's a lovely Millefiori paperweight. It's almost certainly a Murano, because it's got the brown flat bottom, and it's so finely made on the inside. I paid $15 for that. And then since I just sold a couple of these, pretty much identical to this, I decided I needed to buy this one. Little needlepoint picture under glass. Little hanger up there. And that was $5. This is an old monkey wrench. It is a brand I've never heard of, which doesn't mean anything. I don't know very much about tools, but I like old tools. And this says PS&W Company, Cleveland, USA. It's a little bit beat up, and it needs some WD-40 to work properly, but I think it's all here. The wooden handle. That was $2.50. There's a lady who only sells once a year, and if I had remembered, she always comes on the second, fifth Sunday of the year. There's only 2 that they have sales on, and she always has a space that's everything's $5, and then sometime toward midday she lowers the price to everything 2 for $5. So I came when she had sold out of most everything, but I did get that wrench. I got this fabric, which is, I'm guessing Indian shisha, the little mirrors on it. But this would make such pretty pillows or a tablecloth. I don't know, like I need another craft project, but oh, some of the stitching's worn out there. But I just thought it was so pretty, I had to have it. I don't know what I'll do with it. Just look at it, I guess. So that was $2.50. Then this little jewelry box was $2.50. This is probably also like a 1950s, maybe 40s. It's got a purple velvet lining that I imagine was added later. Just looks very new. Here's what the bottom looks like. And, oh, here's the last thing that I got in that space. Was this really cool Chinese lacquer box, I think. What's really odd is last year I got a box almost exactly like this at that same space, except it was square instead of round. And it was not in as good a condition as this one. This one's not. It's got some dings on it for sure. Oh, God. Sorry about the really loud preschool. I don't know what they do. They've been playing lots and lots of music lately, and it's really annoying children's records, and they play it so loud. And they turn it up really, really loud, and they turn it down. And they turn it up really, really loud, and they turn it down. I don't know what they're doing. Most of the time I don't mind the noise at the preschool, but it's been annoying. Okay, oops. Here's what the inside looks like. It's got a loss on the inside. Okay. Let's see, I'll show you these while I'm looking at them. Some neat, possibly Victorian picture frames. So funny, this little baby picture looks so much like my husband's baby pictures, it could be him. The pictures are probably 1950s, but the frames are much older. This one is in better condition. But these were $4 a piece. I don't know if I'll sell them with the pictures in or out. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We got some little sterling silver individual salt shakers, and I think these are just marked sterling. I don't see anything else on them, but it was $5 for the 4 of these, and they're I think in pretty good condition. And I have a few little imperfections, but mostly pretty good. Sometimes you see these so dented and beat up, they're too sad to buy. This picture frame, which is really cute and not terribly old. Here's the back, it's nice and clean. It doesn't look like it has a hanger, so it's definitely a tabletop frame. What did I pay for that? I think I paid $3 for that. Some oil and vinegar cruets. These are unmarked, but almost certainly from Italy. And those were $5. Yeah, I paid $5 for those. They have a, what is that, beet? Not sure. I think it's a beet. And I got this very sweet, this is an original oil pastel painting, probably 1930s, of a cabin in the woods. I got this crucifix. It's like this big metal crucifix, and it had a name on it of Parsons. And I thought, well, it'll be, something I can research and find out. Well, it turns out this is for a casket. That's what it was made for. But there's no reason you couldn't hang that on a wall. It's iron with a silver finish on it, made to look like pewter, but I think that it's all iron. And I paid $5 for that. I don't know, probably a little high. And then this is Norwegian. Yes, Norwegian pewter little vase with some. It's also marked Greenland, so I think it's like a Greenland souvenir with some scenes on it of polar bear hunting and I don't know what else. It's a little bit warped up here at the top. These aren't worth as much as I was hoping, but I paid $3 for it. And this is an interesting piece. This is Gallet glass. It's French Cameo glass, and it's a tiny little, I think this is a rose bowl. It's just a really small one. What are they doing? So yeah, if you know anything about French Cameo glass, Gallet glass can sell for in the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for the really big pieces. I paid $25 for this, and sadly the smaller pieces don't go for as much. I think I'll do okay on it. It is, it has no issues or anything. So, see, goes. And then this is a plique à jour vase. And plique à jour, in case you're not familiar with the term, is a lot like cloisonné, except that it's open, there's no backing. So it's like stained glass. And this little vase set me back $5. There's the bottom of it. It's even pretty on the bottom. And it is in pretty good condition. It's got a few of the little cells have cracks, but there are no losses. And it looks really pretty. Got this little Art Nouveau, Victorian or early Edwardian jewelry casket, silk lined. And I paid $10 for that, which was too much. I mean, it'll be okay, but yeah, I'm just getting a little excited. Okay, here is a fun purchase. This is a box with 2 magnets in it. And it's old. And it does. It has some kind of a writing on it. I didn't see that before. I'll have to figure out what that says. I can't quite read it. It says A and R. Yeah, I don't know what that says. But anyway, I paid $5, I think, for those magnets. And there's even, I'm not going to take it out right now because once you get them out of the box, they're so hard to get back in. But there's a little typewritten note on the inside that says something about how to recharge them, and that sort of thing. This I absolutely love, but I have to be really, really careful with it because one of the hinges is broken and needs to be fixed. But this is a Chinese table screen with, it's broken, with these carved hardstone little sculptures of flowers on the inside. I'm not really sure of the age of these. Maybe 20s or 30s. The other ones. They make bigger screens like this also, and I had a bigger one that had birds on it that I sold for quite a high price, even though it was broken. So, like the actual stones, there were some missing pieces. So, we'll see what I can do with that. Okay, I have one more thing. This is not to resell, it's for me. These are reusable ice cubes. And I don't have an ice maker in my refrigerator. I have a very old-fashioned kitchen and a very cheap refrigerator. But whenever I try to make ice cubes, they just evaporate so fast. Like if you don't use them that day, they disappear. So I thought I would try some reusable ice cubes that can't evaporate. So we'll see how that goes. I think I paid $2 for those. So I think I have showed you everything. Thank you so much for sticking with me. If you've gotten this far, these items are or soon will be available at my online store, vintagedazz.etsy.com. If you are interested in anything, leave a comment or you can email me. My email address is in the description, and I can get something listed for you right away. Okay. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and sign up for notifications so you know right away when a new video goes up. Yeah, that's it. Thanks. Bye.